And joining us now is Secretary of State Alex Padilla, who will address our voter questions ahead of tomorrow's big day. Thank you so much for joining us, Secretary Padilla.
Of course, Leticia, polls close in 32 hours, so it is upon us.
Yes, and what do we know about the people who have voted so far and those who have not cast their ballot just yet?
So first, the good news. Record voter registration going into this election, more than 22 million voters on the rolls in California. More good news, record early return of those ballots. More than 11 million ballots have already been cast by mail, drop boxes, or our in-person early voting locations. But if we do the math, that's still 10 million people who haven't voted. And with all the excitement around this election, I do anticipate there's going to be lines at voting locations tomorrow. So if you want to avoid getting caught in a long line, go early, go today, frankly, if you can. And if you have that ballot in hand that was mailed to you, you can drop it off at any official ballot drop box, any USPS mailbox, or drop it off in person at any in-person voting location.
And do we know how many ballots have been rejected so far, and what are some of the big issues with those ballots?
It's a very small percentage of ballots. None have been rejected yet. If there's any missing signatures on a vote by mail return envelope or a mismatched signature on a vote by mail return envelope, counties must contact the voter and offer an opportunity to cure that issue, whether it's providing the signature if you forgot it, or to update your signature on file if it's changed over time. So we're still in the window where voters can fix any issues with their ballot. And of course, we want to make sure every eligible person is able to register, vote, and have their ballot counted.
And any examples of voter harassment or intimidation so far in the Golden State? We have heard of one case in Yolo County so far.
Yeah, I think one case in Yolo County, one case of an uneasy environment in Southern California over the weekend. Minimal in the grand scheme of things, but of course we take all that seriously. I want to remind voters that they have the right via state law to exercise their right to vote free of any harassment, any intimidation. If you experience anything or observe anything, please give us a call at 1-800-345-VOTE. That's the Secretary of State's voter hotline, available to all voters today and tomorrow through 8 o'clock when the polls close.
And there's a lot of people who've been waiting until the last minute. Maybe they haven't registered to vote just yet, but now they're deciding, yes, I want to participate in the election. What options do they have right now?
Sure. If you're one of the few that missed the deadline of a couple of weeks ago, you're not out of luck. California does offer same-day registration, but you must show up in person at any voting location in your county. You'll be allowed to register and fill out a ballot. It's a little bit more work on the back end for us to process the registration before counting the ballot. But as I said a second ago, we want to make sure that every eligible person can not just register, but vote and have their vote counted.
And there are a lot of propositions on the ballot, and it's led to some voter confusion. Is it okay to leave some of those blank if you just don't know, but you really want to vote in the presidential election and your local races?
Yes, look, we encourage you to make your voice heard in every contest, because every contest on the ballot is important, whether it's candidates or policy issues, but your ballot will not be rejected if you leave a contest blank.
Okay, and some people have their ballots right now sitting on their kitchen counter, and they are deciding whether or not they're going to vote tomorrow. They may be intimidated because of the pandemic to actually get to the polls. What is the message for them?
Look, the message is we want your voice heard. Our free and fair elections are the bedrock of our democracy, but we need people to participate. So that's why, because of the pandemic, we've changed how we're administering the elections to offer multiple safe and secure ways of voting. Vote by mail. You can do it from the comfort and safety of your own home. Return your ballot to the Postal Service, to any official drop box. If you must go in person to vote, go early and bring your mask. Expect poll workers with PPE, hand sanitizer for everybody, all the public health measures in place at the in-person voting locations to keep poll workers and voters safe.
And let's fast forward to Wednesday. What results do you think we will know, and what results will remain up in the air?
Look, as we know in California, because vote by mail especially is so popular here, we have a pretty good idea for most contests on election night how it's going to turn out. But for closed contests and for final numbers, it does take California weeks to finish processing ballots, counting ballots, auditing the vote count before certifying final results. I think what's different about 2020 is that there's other states that have expanded vote by mail significantly for the first time. Talking about Michigan and Ohio, Pennsylvania, other contests that are the battleground states for the presidential contest. So if by tomorrow night the race is still too close to call, that's not a time to panic. It's time to be patient. It's the process at work. We'd rather get it right than get it fast, and we'll know who the president will be for the next 4 years soon enough, well before the Electoral College in December and well before Congress is seated in January.
And this is obviously an unprecedented election. Is this the wave of the future to send all registered voters vote by mail ballots, do you think?
Look, I sure think so. It's modeled after the Voters' Choice Act, which 15 counties in California had adopted prior to this general election, where every voter gets their ballot in the mail in advance, multiple options for how to return it. It's good for turnout, and it just happened to make a heck of a lot more sense also during this COVID-19 pandemic. Another thing that I hope becomes the norm is all these exciting places to go vote in person if you need to. You know, not just recreation centers and libraries, but, you know, Golden One Center right in the heart of downtown Sacramento, other NBA arenas, baseball stadiums, football stadiums throughout the state and throughout the nation. Heaven forbid we make voting a little bit more fun.
Definitely. Secretary of State Alex Padilla, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon and answering all of our election questions. Let's go vote.
Thank you. Thank you. Stay safe.